Hi, this is Sherry Veronica. You keep seeing these articles in your papers, women advancing but issues to face. Women advancing but issues to face. It's a real strange way to say what you want to say. Women are advancing, yeah, but there are still barriers. Who are putting up those barriers? And this is supposed to be Shantal Munro-Knight, and she's with Alila Aline, and whoever this one is, I don't know. But yeah, who are putting up the barriers? You're skipping around major issues. Here it is. Up to us. Society must break the cycle of violence, says psychiatrist. Who are you talking about? What are you talking about when you're talking about women are advancing, but issues are still there to be faced? And that when they mentioned this, they mentioned that Barbados was high in the numbers that they gathered. There was a survey, and Barbados, in terms of the New World, that whole community right there, Barbados rated high for grape. Take away the G because this is YouTube. You know, for violating women. So, who are violating women? Let's think about it. Does any particular gender come to mind? Who, when they talk about R and the violations women endure, and even kids, infants, who is doing that? Let's think. And when this psychiatrist is saying that it's up to society to break the cycle of violence, who is occupying your prisons, not only in the New World, also in the other parts of the earth? This domain has a system where they put away certain people who do certain things, like break the law and that kind of stuff. And if you were to look in the institutions, the prisons, who make up the majority of the inmate population? So you're pussyfooting around an issue that is right in your face. Okay, Ronald Chase and your minister in the office of the ministry of wherever responsible for culture. She is, who is, let me see how they have her. Minister in the prime minister's office, sir. Minister in the prime minister's office with responsibility for culture, Senator Dr. Shantal Munro-Knight. Who would you think would be the people, the species, and the gender that would be responsible for all the angst and all the pain and all the violence and everything else that crops up in your domain that you call earth, this land that you call earth? Who would it be? Who would it be? And if you were to say, like, to end, SEX, and come away with a new way to have humans in this particular domain that may be better, would you be interested in learning more about that? Or are you females just going to be pushing out your enemies? Are you just going to be pushing out a species that gets bigger, stronger than you, and wants to control the world, create wars, turmoil, all the R's and all the violations? Are you going to continue? Are you going to continue birthing an enemy, birthing the soldiers, birthing the inmates? Are you going to keep on doing that, but then get in the paper and say, oh, women are advancing, but there's still issues to face? When you see the issue right in front of you, you know what the issue is, because it comes out and grow up to be bigger and stronger, and does not care about putting you down. It has no care in the world about putting you down. Okay? And, domestication only goes so far. All of these things, all of these things, all of these things, but then you get up in the paper as though you're talking about an invisible species, something you don't know about, and you can't pinpoint it, and you're still like, oh, we're still so like bothered. Where is it coming? It's right around you. You're birthing them. You're birthing it. You are having it suck on your breasts to make sure it gets big and grow up to be stronger than you, so that it can put you down when you become weaker. It can make a female subservient because they sit and they want you to put food in front of them, or they think that the woman is weaker or second class citizen. You guys are bringing in an enemy and then get up in the paper. And then you get it in the paper and talk about society must break the cycle of violence. Are you guys listening to yourselves? Are you guys, you're going to keep on doing the same thing day in and day out, and then get up in the paper and act dumb? And she has doctor next to her name, in front of her name. Doctor? Doctor? What kind of doctor are you? What kind of doctor are you that you're not pinpointing? Okay, we have a problem with the male population. You're afraid to say that? Are you afraid to say that you have a problem with the males in your population, in your society, in your cult, C-U-L-T, culture? Are you afraid to say we are actually raising our enemies? We are actually birthing and raising our enemies? Are you afraid to say that? Are you really afraid to say that? Are you afraid to kundalini yourself? Are you afraid to get into the stages and the power of the kundalini of better serving yourselves, better service to yourselves, and thinking about ways to make this particular domain a better place, instead of continuing doing the same thing you have done for ages? You just keep on birthing them and rolling them out into the world, and then there's still wars. People are still bowing down to religion and fake gods and mock gods and whatever. You're gonna keep on doing that? You're just gonna keep on doing that? Because if you are thinking that AI is going to take over, AI is what you are already. This experiment is AI already. Autoimmune. You've heard of autoimmune, AI, autoimmune. You're seeing it. You're seeing like different variations. They're still like tweaking certain things. There's still experimentation going on. And then children are coming out with diseases that they don't even realize that they're eating their own cells. It's called autoimmune disease, AI. So the AI has always been here. Sperm is AI. Sperm is AI. Okay? So don't even try to say, we are afraid that AI is going to take over. We don't want the AI to take over. You're thinking that AI will be robots and robotics. You are the robots. You are the robotics. You are what you are afraid of. You are afraid of your own selves. You are afraid that this creation that you have created, you are responsible. You have created this. You are afraid to admit it. Okay, so the end of sex, how human reproduction could soon change, is an article found on Apple News. You have to pay, I guess, to have this article come to you. So even if I send it to you, you may not be able to open up the link if you're not a paid member. But the end of sex, and you may think it's a bad thing because you think that you birthing your enemy is a good thing. Well, if we don't do it, it's going to be end of the world. But it wasn't the end of the world when you weren't doing it. It wasn't the end of the world when there were only 8 people, when, the gods came back to the earth and said, well, this is really bad. It wasn't the end of the world when the gods came and said, well, if you can find 10 people, find 10 people, and we won't send we won't destroy, we won't send that fire and brimstone. And then the person came back and said, well, I actually cannot find 10 people in the world that's good. But, and then they said, well, if you could find one person in the world that could be good, we won't send the bombs, and the earth was destroyed, scorched. Okay? How do you think they confounded your speech? They don't want you busting through no veil. They want to keep you right here in this domain because you got to figure this thing out. You created it, you got to figure it out, and they can't get rid of you, it seems. That's all you're doing is pushing them out, pushing these babies out. And what? You do not see that you're birthing an enemy, especially within the male population. You're not seeing that. You get up and you talk crap in the paper about women are advancing, but men are the issues. And you're afraid to say males are the issues. You're afraid to say that the opposite sex, they're causing issues. They are like they're burdensome, or they put burdens on us, or they're sucking us dry. You're afraid to say that just because what, of a paycheck? You don't want the world to be better. Don't you want this place to be better so we can move up, so you can move up into another octave of something better? You don't want that. You don't want that. This is Sherry Veronica.